Welcome everyone to Lofty Foodies. I'm Zaina.
I'm Sonia.
And I'm Louise.
What are we doing today?
So we're doing a breakfast version. Again, for people who would like to have a nutritious breakfast, you don't have time, and this requires a little bit of pre-planning, not a lot. And we're all about pancakes today, but not just any pancakes. We're doing something that's been around in my family forever, and they are buckwheat pancakes.
Okay.
So buckwheat is a little bit less known, but a fantastic product because it is gluten-free.
Despite its name of
It's a pseudo cereal, in fact, right? If I'm saying this right,
exactly.
So it's a pseudo cereal. It behaves a little bit like a cereal, but it is not a cereal. So we're going to be using it. It comes in different forms. Today we're going to be using it as a flour, and you can see. I don't know if you can see the color on camera, but it's a bit of a gray color. Smells wonderful. It's got a very nutty taste. So buckwheat is used in very many different forms, and again today we're concentrating on the flour form for our pancakes, but it is also used as a rice component. You could use it cook it as rice. It's called kasha, and you could use it also with germed buckwheat as a little snack. So very nutritious, plant-based protein, all in all, fantastic product.
So how do we do this?
We're going to make 3 versions today.
Okay.
We're going to start with the base preparation of the pancake itself. So I'll call out the ingredients to my little friends here. We'll start with the flour.
I got it.
So we'll start with the flour. So there's 1 cup of flour. And to the 1 cup of flour, we're going to add a little bit of salt, so a pinch of salt.
Pinch.
We're going to go into our wet ingredients, so we're going to crack an egg.
I'll let you do that.
Okay.
Too clumsy.
You're clumsy, really. Wait, hold on. Before I add the egg, I typically do a little well in the middle. That's just
a good idea.
What goes after the egg?
No.
We're going to add some milk. So one thing to note is in terms of proportion, so to 1 cup of flour, you would put roughly about 1.5 cups of milk.
Okay.
So I would start with, don't dump the whole thing in.
Okay.
Most of it will whip up the batter. If it still feels a little bit thick, we can add the rest of the milk. So it's about 1.5 cups in here. And we're going to add, I put more.
Yeah, put more in milk.
More.
Is that almost
Keep going.
I would say a little quarter cup. Yeah. And then start whisking it?
You can start whisking, but before you have to add a tad of vanilla. A soupçon de vanilla. Soupçon.
Perfect.
Okay. So it's quite nutritious because we've added the egg and we have milk, and there's protein in milk as well. Now, to know that while you're whipping away, the very original recipe of this is the galette. There's a galette bretonne version, the one that we use in my family as well. The original recipe is simply flour, water, and that's it.
Oh yeah?
A little pinch of salt.
That's all you need?
The background of this is that it was a very popular flour way back when with the working class and farm people and people with lower income. It was a very cheap product. So we've done our batter.
Yeah.
It's rested a little bit, and as we mentioned earlier, very hot pan. The best is a cast iron pan. And we just wiped it with a bit of oil. So between each pancake, actually, you can wipe it again.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens.
Ooh, I love that sound.
So the trick here, just for like any other ordinary pancake, we're gonna wait for the little air bubbles to pop everywhere. And the other interesting thing to know if it's cooked or well done on one side,
Look at the bubbles.
look at the bubbles, but see how it's all wet and shiny and lustrous?
Yeah.
You want that to go away.
Oh, all right.
That it starts to be all this kind of grayish color, which basically means it's cooked. It's done, and then you flip it.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
You see how it lost most of the shine? Flip it over.
Look how beautiful that is. Louise, look at that.
So we're back, and we've cooked our little stack of pancakes, as you can tell. Very different color. Smells. You can smell. It doesn't smell the same as the white flour pancake, but they're quite delicious. We're going to try 3 different ways. We're going to plate 3 ways. The very classic way, at least in my family, is a pat of butter, and molasses. That's the classical way of eating it. Another version you could do is basically fruits, and we can add a bit of maple syrup. And the last one is a savory twist. So I love it at brunch on weekends. It's fantastic. A little bit of cream cheese or any kind of spreadable cheese, as a matter of fact. In fact, here we're using labneh. Am I pronouncing this correctly? So labneh is close enough. Okay. It's a type of soft cheese that's easily spreadable, smoked salmon, and a little bit of fresh dill.
Yum.
So let's try that. So we can eat each one if we want.
Oh. Foodies have one more member of the team.
One member of the team.
Yes. Somebody smells fish.
Who will not be sampling, but maybe she will a little bit. We'll see. So here are 3 versions, finely plated. So smoked salmon and cream cheese. We have fruit and maple syrup, and the very traditional classic butter and
molasses.
Exactly, and molasses. So before we sign off, I just wanted to mention a couple of tidbits of information that are interesting. So we said earlier, this is not a cereal, it's a pseudo cereal. So brilliant for people who are gluten intolerant. You make it with water, great for people who are vegetarian. And you need to guess what the origin of buckwheat. Well, you
Don't
know.
ask us.
Yeah, we know, you told us. So interestingly enough, this is from the rhubarb families. Again, don't forget, it's not a typical grain, it's not a cereal, it is from the rhubarb family and sorrel family. So there you go.
I love sorrel. Sorrel soup.
See? Sorrel soup. So this is from the same family.
Wow.
There you go.
There you go.
So enjoy, and don't forget to watch us on YouTube.